The distance between Putin and his people had a crowbar shoved into the seam today. When the financial sanctions against Russia got turned up to 11, Putin knew in advance he was going to do this. He has been laying the groundwork for this for a long time. He knew there would be economic sanctions against him if he did something like this. One of the ways he tried to make Russia sanctions-proof in advance of this invasion was by building up a huge pile of foreign currency in the Russian central bank, basically as a rainy day fund, something that the Russian government could live off of for a long while until the rest of the world calmed down and let them resume business as usual. They built up a reserve currency fund of like between $600 and $700 billion. Well, today, Russia lost access to its rainy day fund when new sanctions targeted not just more individual Russians, not just more individual Russian banks and institutions. Today, new sanctions hit the Russian central bank, which never happens. Sanctions are never that steep. But that means in immediate order, Russia's got no access to its cash reserves. And sure, they've still got rubles, they've still got their own currency, but as of right now, a ruble is basically worthless. The ruble crashed today, down nearly to zero. A ruble right now is worth less than a penny. Their national credit rating is downgraded officially to junk. Russia has basically one industry, oil and gas, but their oil and gas technology is terrible, in part because their companies are terribly run by Putin cronies who run them like organized crime families. They basically run them like gangsters. Russia's oil and gas industry is the one industry they've got, but they need Western oil companies in order to competitively operate their one industry, in order for it to actually function in a modern sense. Well, say goodbye to that. As of today, BP, the single largest foreign stakeholder in the Russian economy, pulled out. They pulled out of their giant multi-billion-dollar stake in Rosneft. In short order, Shell pulled out from their joint operations with Gazprom as well. Exxon's apparently still there, though someone should perhaps check on that. Ask me again in the morning. But BP and Shell pulling out of the Russian oil and gas industry? Rather than see what was going to happen on the Russian markets today, Russia actually just closed them altogether. Literally, they didn't allow their stock market to open because they knew what it was going to look like. And again, it's sort of good news, nightmare news, heartening news, worrying news. Right? It is heartening for Ukraine. It must be to see the whole Western world act with alacrity, to act in a unified way, to stomp on Russia economically so fast. I mean, even Switzerland, famously neutral Switzerland, got in on the sanctions today. They never do that. You can imagine all the Russian oligarchs and kleptocrats who might have been worried about sanctions anywhere else in the world. They were surely comfortable in the knowledge that whatever else they had to get out of elsewhere in the world, their Swiss bank accounts at least would be safe. Sorry, their Swiss bank accounts as of today are frozen with no warning. And again, Switzerland never does that. So it's not like they would have anticipated it was going to happen and move their stuff out before they could get hit.